whenever I'm trying to make someone feel better about how they're feeling, overwhelmed, people I've trained in the past, and even in the management role, I've always said to them, if you're feeling overwhelmed or if you're feeling fearful or you're having those feelings, it's only because you care. And that matters. So that's what I thought about with this audio as a parent, the fatigue, the exhaustion, like the hardships. It's because you care and it's because you're doing the job that needs to be done.
Talking about parenting and how parenting is hard. And I said, it just kind of like clicked in my mind. I said, parenting is only hard for good parents. Like that was a crazy moment, a realization where it's like, if you're not tired, then what the hell are you doing? If parenting's not hard, what are you doing? So many people out there that have it really hard and they're struggling, and I know they want the best for their children and they're doing everything they can. And I just want that to be a reminder to all those people that it's because you're a good parent.
Not always gonna get everything right.
It's time to lock in, everybody.
I'm always gonna love you.
Let's get it.
Hey, yeah. Hey, okay, every single day I wake up and stare at my jit. He the reason I'm on my shit, he the reason I never quit. I tell him anything that he wanna be, he can be it. Even though I doubt myself, I ain't never gonna let him see it. Reminiscing back to that stage of life when I was his age, before I felt the feeling of being afraid. But my mom told me truths like if I jump off this roof, I'ma die. If she ain't love me, I would've thought I could fly. I hope my love don't clip his wings and shift his faith, or hold him back from who he is, from going far from being great. If I had one wish, that wish would be to keep you safe. But look at everything I learned from my scrapes, scars, and mistakes. Sometimes pain is what it takes. Shit make a lasting impression, a blessing sent in disguise to bring you back to the lesson. When it slips out of your mind, remind us from the divine. No matter how fast we run, we all run out of time. Ain't no shame in being afraid and still trying.
Oh my God. Don't cry on camera. Don't cry on camera. Why are you crying on camera? Fuck it, it's real. It's real. Yeah. You gonna get it. You gonna get the tears. You gonna get it all because these topics matter. What we talk about, how we connect with each other, that shit matters.
Facts.
That shit matters. Welcome to the Parental Exchange, y'all.
Welcome.
Woo, I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm your host, Chico.
And this is where real parents exchange real experiences. No judgment, just growth and connection. And we out here. It is 12:30 midnight.
It's time to lock in, everybody.
Facts.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
bedtime.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Making it happen. And I know little man will be proud.
Facts.
I think about how, we spent the day with him. We, we're like, let's be present with him because, we got to get this done. And sometimes the sacrifice is doing it at 12 midnight when his eyes are closed and his little soul's resting and he's on his 10th dream.
Facts.
This is what the sacrifice looks like for us as parents who are trying to focus on our time management, but also be present when we have him and he's awake and it's a weekend and it's,
It's just us.
And it's just like, yeah.
It's just us, like it's one of those things where you have to pick and choose. And
yes,
it's like,
yes.
We know that we're going to be feeling it. We're going to be fatigued and we got a long day tomorrow. It's not like we can just sleep in and no, we have a long day starting early tomorrow, but we understand that that's part of our mission right now. That's part of our story. It's part of our journey. It's part of, the reason, like we have a why and Zaya's part of our why. And, we did what we had to do during the day. Now we're locked in on the podcast. And we have so much other things that we're locked in doing, and we got to be proud of ourselves. We got to remind ourselves that when we feel tired, when we feel frustrated, when we feel like we're done, it's because we're doing our job and we're being good parents.
Yeah.
We care, we're not just prioritizing our rest, We're going against the fatigue, against our what our mind really wants, because to shut down and not be running around, worrying about food, worrying about you know
Did he
making sure his
eat?
room is good, like
Is he being
yeah, his
productive?
clothes, yeah, all
Oh,
of that, yeah.
all of that. I feel I is it crazy to say that right now that he's resting and he's getting his sleep for the night is when I feel my most peaceful, that my mind is probably the most clear because I can think, okay, he's good
Yeah,
and let me do as much as I can right now.
facts. And sometimes that, how we talked about this in prior episodes, where after everybody's shut down, everything's shut down, you kind of go on your phone and just like doom scroll, because it's kind of like you're taking back your time. Um, it feels better when you're doing something like this, right? Like, I know that I'm gonna be too tired to get on my phone when we're done doing all of this and recording, and you know that
Yeah.
makes you go to sleep at least with that pride that, yo, I exhausted my day. Like,
Yeah.
my day was exhausted to the next day, because we're already in the next day.
Yeah. And I feel, babe, as long as we're doing something that is helping us get better in our, financial gain or our personal growth gain or our family relationship, our community within our family, then we're winning. So whatever
Yeah.
you feel like you're behind, but you're giving it 100%, as long as you are, then you let go of all that extra shit. Because I know you've been having
Oh yeah.
the like I feel like you've been looking heavy lately and you haven't really spoken to me much about it, but I see it, and the Puerto Rican attitude in me sometimes doesn't take a step back to think about it, because I just get so worked up with everything we have going on just in general, just like life cadence and the things that we do in our everyday day to day. But I do want you to know that I realize when it's heavy and I don't want to make it any heavier. So if I ever do, just what's our secret code? What's the what do you tell me, like do you open your nostrils like this?
I just close my doors and hope nobody comes inside
Bruh, just lock
this
both the
room.
doors and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Um, I feel like it's and it's not so much a household thing. It's more of like a job thing. Where you went through the phases of learning the new role, and now you're dealing with the volume that it comes with, and you come to a realization that it doesn't stop, and that dealing with that and managing that has been a challenge. So having conversations, with supervisors at work, and people that have been doing the role, and you understand that it comes with the role, but the part of that where your lack of is where, like, the consistency, and you hear that word come up in your life a lot, like, hey, you got to be consistent with fitness, you got to be consistent with a relationship, you got to be consistent with work. And I don't know, that word has been just like very present in my mind, and it's like, yo, man, the lack of consistency has been pouring into areas in my life, and it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, yo, I need to cut that shit. Knowing that phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything, is like always present in my mind too. So it's like, oh shit, like, if I'm not consistent at work, hold up, and then I'm like, all right, relationship, shit, not consistent there. Oh, I'm not consistent in my finances. Oh shit, not consistent in my fitness. How can I change that? Because I know that in my job, if I change that, I'm going to be very successful in my role, and that heaviness that I feel will lighten up. Well, maybe that's the same thing that's going on in my life, period, right? And it is, right? It is. So that has been just weighing over my like over me. And then having that conversation with Terrence and Aubrey was kind of like, bruh, is that inconsistency also connected with fear? Is it with overthinking? Yeah, it is. Like, you know, that conversation we had where he was like, yo, every time you feel any type of fear or any type of like hesitation, run towards that shit. Run towards that shit. And that has been, I think, part of that gap in where like the inconsistency comes where I stop or I avoid something, whether it's because of fear or because there's a knowledge gap or because there's like this overthinking process. There's definitely something that makes me just stop and then have to pick back up and try resetting all over again. So when you say that, that's what's been like that heaviness was just like me having to kind of set back and think to myself like shit, like okay, like my supervisor brought a great point. Damn, this is also playing a part here and here and here. So
All about
mhm.
what you're currently doing isn't working. So find something else. Like,
Like what do you mean?
no, what I mean is if what you're currently doing is not working, then you got to change something,
Oh yeah,
you know?
100%.
And I know you're working on that too. I guess what I'm saying is thinking about it in that way. Or you just said something that I didn't really quite understand. You said whenever something gets a little tough, like you kind of just stop
Mhm.
and then you pick back up. Like, what do you mean by that?
Like you know
Like you
what?
take a mental break or something?
Yeah, like you just
Does
you
that help you?
no, it does at the moment because you don't realize that you're self-sabotaging yourself, right? Because you're stopping that momentum that you picked up on, or you're stopping um, a, a, a growth point, right? Like when you're working out, right, and you pick something up that's too heavy. There's this thing where you're like, oh nah, let me go back to a lighter weight so I can actually finish my 10 reps. And in reality, if it's too heavy, I feel like that's a good thing. Like not to the point where you can get hurt, obviously, but if it's heavy enough to make you struggle a little bit, then that means that you've been going a little too light, and maybe this is where you're supposed to be going. Because hey, you can't do 8 reps, but get those 4 in. And in some areas, right, I feel like it with me currently, where there's certain things where like there's a bit of a knowledge gap where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a tough conversation I'm gonna have to have with this person. Fuck. And then I'll just like wait on it.
Oh,
And then what happens if I wait on it, it's gonna come back and still need to be you're still gonna need to
addressed.
have to address this. So why wait till the person's already pissed that they've been waiting to hear from you, and now like you have to come back to them on some, hey, my bad.
From this level of fear that you were like, "Ugh," to like now they're up here like,
No, it's
now
like
you really got to deal
now
with some
now they're
shit.
angry. Now they're angry times 100 because you're going from I could have ripped the
Avoiding it.
band-aid off right away, but now I have a delay, and you're wondering what's the delay. And on top of that delay that you're already annoyed about, I'm giving you bad news, right? So like there's
Rip
areas
the
like that,
Band-Aid off,
yeah,
babe.
yeah,
Rip that
and that's
Band-Aid
in
off.
everything. Like rip the
You
band-aid
gotta
off. You
say
gotta
that to
wake up,
yourself.
yeah.
You know that guy, Mr. What's his name? Giuliano Massarelli. You see how he like dances and stuff, and like he claps his hands and does these crazy muecas. You gotta say that to yourself. Rip the
Yeah.
Band-Aid off and then call them. Don't even let your mind think about it. Call that fucking person and give them their news, because you were just a messenger. You were just doing your job.
Yeah.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Dance like that.
Yo,
Go crazy.
that dude is hilarious.
Babe, find what
Yeah.
works. And yo, I just thought about something crazy. Imagine you were the claims adjuster that recorded you being the bearer of bad news.
Oh, nah,
Oh,
that shit.
I mean, I don't think you would do that, but
Yeah.
the idea here is like I challenge you to do that, even though it feels weird. No one's watching. Do it.
Yeah.
Like, do the thing that's gonna help you shake out of it. Like, stand up and say, I'm I don't know, give
not doing
yourself
that.
an
I'm not
affirmation.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
Get strong.
But I'm
I
definitely
am strong.
not doing
I
that.
have got it. But that's the problem,
Nah,
babe.
I'm cool. Like,
That's the
I,
problem. You're too
nah,
cool.
yeah,
You're too
nah. No,
cool.
no, no. Not that I'm too cool for that. It's just that my personality is I'm gonna do other things, but I'm
Different.
definitely, I'm definitely in a place where I have to just like execute those things because it's not just that. That's one of those things that I can come up with, but there's areas like just with the workload and getting to things a lot quicker and not procrastinating or not holding off until, like, for example, I'll be like,
Yeah,
yo,
don't
I
hold
could
off.
wait till next day to talk to my supervisor. No, hit them up now and let them know that you need some help with this, right? Some days I'll be
Yes.
like, nah, let me just be a little bit more efficient and have everything that I need addressed tomorrow. But again, don't leave for tomorrow what you could do today. And that's part of, what I have to take on
Yeah.
with what I'm doing currently because I'm doing all the right things, right? I have my head in the right place. It's just some of the actions or there's the lack of consistency in those actions to be able to keep that flow and keep that, you know, that growth.
Yeah. And you're not alone, babe. That
Yeah.
consistency, I'm practicing that in every aspect of my journey as well. And, I see a lot of things and I'm always focusing more on the positive stuff that I'm looking at online. I'm trying not to doom scroll as much. I'm trying not to compare myself as much. But in a lot of things that I'm seeing, it's like your end result is all a part of your habits, baby.
Yeah,
And I'm
facts.
like instill those habits. What you're doing now. Think about like in fitness. Your body and the way it looks is the result of the type of consistency you're giving, the type of work you're giving. Like you can't
All the
hide it.
past decisions you've made.
Yeah, you can't hide it. The other day, I saw a man walking with an oxygen tank at Planet Fitness. I saw him at the gym. I saw a guy the other day at the gym and he was working out and he had an oxygen tank on. And I thought to myself, what did it take for him to get to this point to say, I need change? What happened in his life? Did he almost die, come back to life, and then they said, hey, you got to use this oxygen tank? What culmination of decisions did he make over a course of time that led him to finally say, I need to make this change?
Or just even adversity in his life, still facing that head on and saying that's not going to stop me, because he could also done the right things and still said, well, genetics,
Yeah,
things in my
thought
life,
about that.
but I'm still going hard and I'm still not letting this be my excuse to why I can't work out, because there's people that don't have an oxygen tank and they act like
And they're also
they
not at the
can't.
gym.
Yeah, right. like they act
Yes.
like they can't make it to the gym because whatever it is that they're putting in their head is bigger than the reason why they should be going, when whatever that reason is the reason why you should be going to the gym.
Yeah. So when I hear the words, fitness is the most personal relationship you can have with yourself, you also said a thing that you said, if I'm consistent in this, that could help me with other streams of my life. Yes,
It's needed.
that makes sense. And so back to what I was saying with your body, when you're the way your body looks is basically a culmination of all the decisions you decided to make, how consistent you are. Like the result is there. The results don't lie. So now I'm taking that shit personal in my own life and saying the reason why I am where I am right now is because of all the decisions I've made for myself. So something's got to change. And now facing those changes head on are so fucking scary. You take a deep breath sometimes, like, okay, I'm diving in. I'm diving in. I'm not just dipping my toe in. I'm 10 toes down. And it is the scariest thing. But then I think about my baby. And I'm like, yo, we got to do it. 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 Please hold. Cut. The angle of the camera is cutting off the parental exchange. It should be higher. The angle's a little off. Our feet are showing so much for no reason.
So you want to restart?
Restart what?
We're gonna have to restart.
Absolutely not. We're gonna have to take the L
The
then
whole-
keep it because the whole thing is perfect. I'm not changing it. So we're gonna don't move it, don't move it, don't move it because we're not starting over. This has been amazing and we're connecting so well with each other. But I just don't know why the parental exchange is chopped off.
It's not chopped off.
It looks like it is.
It's not. I just looked at it right now.
Okay. All right. So, boom. We'll chop that whole thing off. But your challenges with your work, I feel I'm experiencing heavy on my end too with trying to be the creator for once in my life. I'm designing my own life from scratch. And that has been mentally challenging. But I feel like I'm starting to get more reps and I'm getting stronger mentally, at least at that. And it's going to help me increase my habits. It's going to help me get better with how I manage to get from point A to point B. Just like mental strength. Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Like you definitely been very intentional with your post, with how you go at it, because it's no secret to you guys. Like we're not just doing the podcasting, we're doing the full on content creation, and it is another thing we're adding to our plate, and we accepted the challenge. But it's definitely one of those things where, for me, surprisingly, like, I'm the one that wants to be the creative. I've always taken pride of being the content creator or just a creator in general. And as of lately, I've been having mental blocks, like, of what I want to post about, even certain things. Like, I pick at everything, like, oh no, this is off, or this is coming out, or that's there, or whatever I find that I don't, that makes me not like it, to not post it. I don't know if that's a part of the fear thing.
I was going to ask that.
That part of, like, overthinking it and being like, oh, the other person on the other side is gonna see that or gonna see this, right? And it's kind of like, bro, who cares?
Can
like,
I be honest?
What the fuck? Just do it, right?
Yeah. Can I be honest?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean this for both of us, because I've found that in myself. I believe it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's self-sabotage. And it's overthinking. It is those three things, those three hurdles that us as a unit have to get over. Because you're not alone in that. You're not alone in that. And so when we were talking to our mentors, they said, when you experience fear, run towards that shit. I'm wondering I want to follow up with this and say what that one thing was for you that you did. You were like, you know what? I was a little fearful. I overthink that. And I think it caused me to have some fear, but I really felt that it was overthinking. I did that shit anyway. I want to come back to this conversation with you, and I want to know what that thing is.
That I've done in my life, or like, no, recently?
Like once we
go into
tackling our next week.
Coming back to the conversation.
Yeah, like now that we're starting, this mentor conversation happened, yesterday? Mm-hmm. We haven't gone back to work mode, our routine throughout the week. So when you do, I want to know how you start to tap into that, how you start implementing that. And I'm going to also think about it too.
I can bring something up that recently happened that instantly came up to my mind, where the other day I was supposed to wake up at 5:45 to get ready and work out outside. Mm-hmm. And two things happened. I looked at the weather and saw that it was a little chilly. I was like, coño, yes, summer not here. Summer not here yet. And then I saw the time and said, damn, I woke up a little bit before my time. I can chill for a bit. Mind you, I work from home that day and I start at 9. So I'm like, I got 3.5 hours. Let me take these 30 minutes. Big mistake. I woke up. Now I'm a little bit behind when I wake up. Now I wake up. I go. I'm pacing around the kitchen. I'm pacing around the closet
I can
area.
picture it.
I'm pacing around the bathroom. You go and say, babe, did you work out? You thought I was coming in from the workout already. I'm over here like, nah,
You said I'm about to.
I'm about to, which I was lying because I was definitely not about to. I was about to not work out. I said that. And when I said that, I said, I gotta go do it now.
What? That's funny.
So I said to myself, all
Oh.
right, you know what? Damn, let me. So
What were you gonna do?
I was gonna be like, yo, actually, nah, I'm gonna just
cold
walk on the
outside.
treadmill. It's cold, and I'm gonna just walk on the treadmill and start my job like now, start working now. But then I was like, bro, let me go do it. I go outside.
Mm-hmm.
I put my clothes on. I go outside. I start working out, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't like a hardcore workout. I didn't go super hard, but I definitely got my reps in, right? Like I just got some reps in, got some pull-ups in, and got some movement going. I stretched, and I felt good. Like I'll be honest with you, I felt good, and I came inside, and I was like, all right, that was my workout. I'm cool with it. Like I was satisfied with it, and then I still end up putting my my
Your walking pad
yeah,
up?
no, I put my walking pad down, and I put my standing desk up and got on it and walked, and I felt good, and I was like, damn, like that was one of those things where you just run after that you run towards that thing that you're about to run away from. Because as simple as that sounded, it was like a mental war for me in those couple of minutes. It was like, it's not a big deal. I can still make up for this. And I'm justifying it. And at that moment when you asked that question, I was like,
I'm over there
I'm
in the
going
bed.
right
Did
now.
you work out yet?
I'm about to.
Yes. Okay. So
So
good job. There you go.
that's an example of the things that I need to do more whenever I have those thoughts of, you could do it later. You don't need it right now.
Especially
whatever
you.
that is.
Because I can multitask, right? Could we talk about how I multitask in the kitchen and I'm making I pan out my steps. So I say, let me get the rice started because while that's cooking, I can do this. He cooks the grilled chicken first. And then I'm like, where's the rice? Oh, I haven't made it yet. I'm starving. And the rice is not made, bruh.
Well, because I don't really care about rice.
Well, I know, baby, but just an example.
No, I know.
Or when there's turkey bacon and eggs. Now the eggs is getting cold because you still have to make the turkey bacon. Meanwhile, I got two pans going. One is with the bacon, the sausage, and the other one is with whatever. Knowing that the egg takes the quickest to make, like you got to think about it.
I think
And
about
you're
those
not-
things, and I also think about how you could burn something or you burn the turkey.
And I'm
then
more
I was
like,
nah.
woo, woo, woo. I'm like literally chefing it up, crisping the bacon up on one side and turning the farina or whatever on the other side. And you're like, oh, I did the bacon. Now I'm gonna do the eggs, and then I'm like,
Step by step, baby.
I'm starving. I said, I just step in. Like I'm a control freak.
Which I don't
just
even
step
know
in.
why is a problem, because she'll start eating things separate anyways. Like I personally like mixing my food. She'll
So
eat
he'll
the egg separately. She'll eat the turkey bacon separately. She'll eat the piece of bread separately.
And
I'm
when
just
you
like,
cook, I have no choice but to do that.
yeah, but that's already part of your routine. Me personally, I like everything I like everything together. Like I'm making a sandwich out of it. I'm making a tortilla out of it. I'm mixing my shit together, and I'm getting some ketchup, some mayo. But you, on the other
I'm
hand,
very simple.
Whatever the egg,
Whatever's in that ingredient, I'm
that
eating
is
just
it.
that. There's no extra
There's no
add-ons.
mixing. There's no adding flavor. There's if this.
Don't be acting like I eat bland shit now. I be seasoning my chicken.
You do. I'm saying just for your taste buds,
Yeah.
you like tasting each thing that you're eating separate.
Pero también cuando yo estoy poniendo sal, when I'm putting salt, you're like, babe, like
Wildin'.
Or I like to put turmeric in a lot of my meals, and he's not really big on my. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he's not big on my seasonings, but
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
it's not Spanish always.
Puerto
It's not
Rican.
always a Puerto Rican
No,
meal.
you're definitely more on the Puerto Rican side when it comes to like the seasoning. Like you use
Louisa,
no the that
sofrito.
the sofrito
Yeah.
that brings that Puerto Rican taste.
And your mom just uses oregano from DR and mashed up garlic, ajo. That's it.
Or the
Oh,
oregano.
the chicken bouillon cubes.
Yes,
I already know.
yes.
Yup, and I don't. I'm becoming very conscious of not only eating healthier, but down to the amount of ingredients that are in each thing that goes into my food. So I haven't used sazon in a very long time. Just fun fact, I haven't used sazon or jamon packets from Goya in a long time. So it's Loisa all day.
Facts. Sponsor us.
Yeah, hell yeah. Come on, Luisa. Do your girl a favor. You're my girl. I'm your girl. Um, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. We were actually just talking about consistency in eating, and I made this banging ass arroz chino, this Chinese rice. Always so good. I could eat it pretty often. This man,
Just not in the same day.
yeah. I wouldn't want to have two rice bowls, if I can help it. But you, on the other hand, you say, I can eat the same thing every day. I make food, and next thing you know, I see a charge on our joint account at the El Amor Cafe. You're having fucking coffee and I don't even know what. And I'm like, dude, there was food in the fridge. Now I'm checking on you. I'm checking for you hard. Hey, babe, did you grab your meal prep from the fridge? And I'm staring at it while I'm texting this. Because I got it. Like, I want to hear you tell me, nah, and give me an excuse so I could be like,
I ran out too quick. Forgot it.
yeah. But honestly,
Listen.
the way your mind can be like, what am I doing? Like, I can understand that. But no, like, baby, you gotta get better.
ADHD.
Yeah, you gotta get a little better with that.
I'm all over the place sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a chaotic there's a chaotic side
Mm-hmm.
to dealing with me, right? Because I'll start doing something, in the midst of doing something I'll start something else. While I'm doing that, I remember I forgot to do something else, so I'll go start doing that.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm just running around in different places of the house doing different things. So she'll walk in, and her perspective is, this isn't complete. Why are you over there when this still hasn't been completed? And I'm like, I'm going to get to it right now, but I got the most important part of that done. I'll get back to it. Now I'm going to do that. And that's exactly what goes on also with my role, my job. It's crazy. Like, that's part of the inconsistency, because I'm jumping around and starting something without finishing the last thing.
Yeah.
And that's part of the most important thing, that I need to get better on, because again, the household dynamic also, that pours into that.
I feel
Fitness, it pours into that.
Yeah. I feel that with a lot of how you're feeling overwhelmed wise, you literally sometimes physically cannot get better in those other things. Like, I see you mentally struggling in every single aspect because of how overwhelmed you are in one. And I noticed that. And I just be like, I'm just giving him his grace. I might be upset about it, or I might, because there's a lot of times where even just that connection, my love language, just that sometimes that love language is not being
Poured into.
And I just do my best to say, he's having a hard time. But when you don't rub my feet and we're both laying in bed, I don't get it. That is something that
I'm
is
not a
going to
feet
have to be a
person.
deal breaker at some point. And my feet are pretty. They're pretty.
Just not a feet person.
It's whack. Like, you would have told me that 10 years ago. Or not 10 years ago. That's too far. Like 9-ish, 8-ish years ago.
I mean, I'm glad you never asked.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have a problem with that. To be honest, that's gonna be a problem.
Mind you, I
Don't
still
get
do
upset
it.
when I get a membership at a spa and just go get massages
She,
like
you can go to your,
every
you
month.
can go to your to do your pedicures. They give
No,
you a little massage when you do
no,
that.
no. It's definitely gonna be a Brookstone or Med spa for me. Yeah, so get it together. Is what I'm saying. Or else I'm gonna have to go get it from a chinita or who chinito.
That's the problem. That's the problem with women, that they'll tell you like, hey, if you don't do it, I'm gonna get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you think it. You just don't say it. Men think it, but they don't say it.
Like there was
So
one
that's the
time,
problem with men.
there was one time I made a horrible joke where I
He
remember
makes a lot of horrible jokes, by the way, and
when she was
his
like
humor is not. It
super
doesn't.
dark. She
It's
was like,
not.
we were talking about having a second kid, and at some point she was giving me a lot of pushback. Like, I don't know, I don't think I would go for a second. I was like, all right, I'll just have a second. She's looking at me like, what do you mean? But you just have a second?
Yeah, like I knew exactly what the fuck you meant, and I said that's disrespectful.
That's craziness. Mind you, I'm over here dying laughing like I am right now. Just, it was hilarious to me in my head
Nah.
because
What did J. Cole say? There's a little truth in every LOLJK.
he didn't say that shit.
Who did?
Not J. Cole.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that bar from Cole.
Mm.
That was a Cole world. That was your bars.
Well, listen.
But yeah,
That shit ain't funny. That's a whack joke. Whack.
it was funny to me though.
Yeah. So
It was
anyway,
funny to me.
I would never say that because now you're gonna be thinking about my cheeks getting clapped. Oh,
You see, like you just have to
I
take
had to
it
take
there.
it. I had to.
Take it further.
I had to.
Okay,
I had to get dark. You're
was
laughing. I had to
crazy.
cut that shit quick.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Mine was not as that. Like, all right, cool.
You going as far as saying I'll just go get someone else pregnant. That's not as bad. Okay. I'm sure they're equally as
That's
bad.
toxic as
Oh my god. No, listen. One thing I'm blessed
Oh,
is
sorry,
that even though, you know, even though we go through these hardships and stuff, like that's where again we kind of fall back into the point of it's because you care. You know, you're doing all these things and you're feeling as strongly as you do about these things because you care. And it weighs heavy on you because you care. So
yeah.
take a deep breath, take it how it comes, and realize that life cannot be that serious because like your tomorrow is never promised, and that hits me harder and harder every day. Sometimes it's very daunting for me to think that way, but it's also my wake up call to say like, girl, don't
Oh yeah.
get too deep into this rabbit hole of self-doubt and pity and overwhelmingness and sadness. You know, just think about
Facts.
like being present in the now and all that comes. You know, you're tired, but that won't last forever. You know, there's good things that come with that. What you're doing because you're fatigued matters. Keep going. Like
Yeah.
that is everything.
You're giving 100%. Like there's as of recently, I've been also dealing with the what is it that I'm gonna be able to do to help elevate my son. And what I mean elevate, I'm talking about in all aspects, like his learning, right? What he gets exposed to that is like that would bring, better habits in his life. And I'm like, man, like a lot of that has to reflect off of what I do. But while I'm working on the things that I need to get better at, how can I help still? And I don't know where to start. Like, do I start pushing, not pushing, but do I start seeking things that he's interested in? Is now still a time for him to just have fun and just play with his toys, and I'll worry about sports and all those things later. Like, I'm thinking about that because like you have a way of thinking more of like nostalgic. You think about more of like things that that bring joy or moments that you had that were already passed, but you like to relive them. I'm always just trying to think of what's next, or like what's gonna be going on for him tomorrow, and that stresses me out. And when I heard that audio, I was like, that like, it's because you care. It's because you're trying to be a good parent and you want to make sure that you push your kids to the next level. Because I noticed another thing that poured in from when I was a kid. Like, my parents didn't push for me to be kind of like aggressive to want to win or to get good grades. It was kind of like, hey, just do what you can, right? Like, because they felt like they didn't go to school or finish school, so they didn't feel like they had credibility to push that on me. When, that was their mindset. Like, I get them. They don't want to be hypocrites and tell me to do something that they couldn't do or that they didn't have the opportunity to do.
And they also probably felt like you were winning because you went and they didn't.
And they didn't,
They thought
right?
that
Like,
that was
they
the
thought that was
accomplishment.
already an accomplishment for sure. So that also affected me, because it wasn't a drive for me to try to be the best or try to get the best results always. And that can also pour into your professional life, because you're not going to be you're not going to be striving to hit the top or hit your maximum potential in your work ethic. And the same thing with relationship, the same thing with your fitness. It's going to always be a hard thing, because you're kind of just like coasting by. And that is a fear that I don't want that for Zaya. Like, I want him to be able to have like that initiative to always want to go hard. And it's okay if you fall short, but I want to make sure that you at least go hard every time, so that when you look back and you can feel satisfied with the work ethic, or the intention you had to make it to the top, or to win, or to get the best grade that you can. Because ultimately that's rewarding, and it builds you up. It builds you up for this world. And I feel like
And prepares you.
I'm doing that now as an adult, and it's hard. It's hard, because you're gonna have to break these old habits, and it's not that it's impossible, it's just very hard. So I'm acknowledging that, is because I feel like I climb up and fall down, I climb up and I fall down. And some of that also comes with that. You need to have that grit. You need to have that, like, I all in mentality, and initiative to go hard, and go after those things, and not just be nonchalant, not just be cool
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Which I struggle with. So as of lately, I just been thinking about, Father's Day coming up, and what I want to be, to my son. And I know that he looks at me to right now, and wants to be like daddy. Like, he says it, like he wants to do this like daddy. He wants to be like this like that. And I want that to be my why, to push me. And it's even hard, because I look at him and he's my why. But sometimes it's not that is not enough motivation. It's just that I'm not programmed, or wasn't taught to just be like
Yeah,
aggressively
like,
towards my shit that I need to be going after.
and that fear
Yeah.
or that overthinking sometimes does take over.
100%. Because now you're
And
hesitant of what that should look like. Like, there's times that I know I should be going after something, and I'll be like, I don't want to look thirsty
like
for
me.
it. What?
Yeah, come, like, go after me. Run after me, like like we're dating again, Like, how you
Yeah.
got me is how you keep me. So keep it up.
That's a good example of, like, everything else. You gotta, go after it, keep going after it. And again, that, for me, sometimes even trying to not look thirsty for something will would
We'll keep,
sabotage that. It'll
yes.
keep you there, because that happens sometimes. Like, I'm at work and I'm like, I don't want to seem like I'm too much, right? Or
And
I
why?
could.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like that's just, if I don't know what that is.
Is it you?
Honestly.
Is it you though? If you did do that thing, is it who you are as a person? If you did do whatever it was you thought to do before you thought, I don't know if that's too much. Is that something that you feel is just genuinely you to do?
Yeah,
If
because
so,
there's
then
plenty of
okay.
times that I be in my mind like, I want to just go and do this, and the third, and I'll think about how it'll play out, and then something will just be like, nah. Like, perfect example. Very, very simple, right? When I play basketball on Thursdays, we close out with prayer.
Mm.
And there's times that I just want to be like, yo, I want to pray for everybody here. And I think about it, but don't do it. Because I feel like
Like your prayer won't be good enough?
no, I feel like it's one of those things where it's not that it's not gonna be good enough. It's just kind of like I don't want to feel like I want the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like if you ask me to do it, I'll do it. But me coming on and be like, hey guys, can I pray for everybody here? Even though I want to, I just generally feel like God's tugging at me to want to do that. There's times that I want to speak up and voice an idea at work. Hey, maybe this will work, and I'll just think about it and be like, hopefully somebody thinks of it. And that again plays another, where I'm just like very like taking the back seat and not trying to be in the front seat. When sometimes maybe God wants you to be in the front seat because you're the one that's supposed to drive that at that moment. And there's days that I don't do it, and I'll come home and I'm like, damn man, why did
It's
you know?
funny. Yeah, it's funny because that's how I feel when we go to a random place and they ask who wants to do karaoke. That's the fight I have in me. I'm like, if I
She
really, really want,
1000% most of the time does it though.
but how do you know I'm not having that same internal battle? Because I have.
Well, then you do a good
And I
damn job of
say,
fighting that shit and
I
going for
say,
it.
I don't want to leave here and feel like I wanted to do it. And that is why I always did it. That is exactly why I always did it. Just so you know.
It's fire.
So I challenge you on the next basketball game or the next call where everyone's inputting their opinions on this. Be the expert. You have been working towards being that person. We are attending church regularly.
Yeah.
We are people of faith. Like, pray for people, say what's on your heart. Like, you said some great, you literally hosted Bible studies when we first met. And you're telling me you can't just pray for a prayer group after physically getting into it and now spiritually getting into it? You can't be that leader? Hell no. You've been the creator for many things since I've met you. And you're the reason why I even decided to be a trainer in the first place. I used to wipe old people's asses and manage group homes from 11 p.m. to 3 p.m. the next day. And
Yo, I remember that.
yeah,
That time.
yeah, like I want you to
Sheesh.
literally own what I met you as.
And I feel like there's days that I think about that and say, what happened to that person? Because I felt like I was very, I shit, to put it in perspective, I literally lived my life like I did that when I jumped off, when I went skydiving. Like I would just jump first and figure it out on the way. Like without a parachute, I was just initiate shit, get it, go for it. And maybe I got gun shy. Like I trigger, what is it called? I became kind of like trigger, well, yeah,
I
like
don't know.
it's something with trigger shy. We can cut this out, but I became kind of like held back in initiating things. And maybe because one, sometimes I don't want that responsibility because I feel like, damn, can I stay consistent? So that's a fear. A fear of like, hey, can I lead? Because a leader also has to be consistent. For you to, to be a leader, you got to be consistently growing in that role, in that leadership role. And it's, for me, it's a fear because even like looking at my son, like I have to be a leader in his life of how to be a man in this world. And I have to continue to grow as a man and become, the best version of myself. So that way he can look at me as that if he can't look at anybody else. Because I know he's going to have different influences in his life, but I want me to be one that he can look back at and be like, if there's somebody that I can look back at that was on point, was my dad.
And it's the one role you can't resign from or get fired from.
Facts.
So why not put that energy into that role, wholeheartedly, and not hold back, and be God fearing, and be like fully driven when it comes to that, which, as a parent, I know you are for sure. But I say that to say, yeah, it's the one role you'll never get fired from, and you'll never, you're stuck with that position for life. For life.
Happy to do it too. There's it's just amazing to be like Zaya's dad. Like it to me, there's such a great reward from like the simple things like a hug, or when he comes up to me, he's like I was like, yeah, I'm your dad. He was like, you're my dad, I'm your son, and mommy's my mom, and I'm her son.
He started saying it all.
and he just kind of like tells you these things, and when you hear, I just love hearing, because I know these things, but when I hear him say it and he acknowledges it, it's like, yeah, papi, like you are, and
Play
we
his
love
little
you.
voice. Play his little voice.
It's time to lock in, everybody.
Oh,
awesome,
that
man.
voice brings
It's so great.
many emotions. So many emotions.
Yo, it's funny because our relationship is like, she's the crier, if you haven't noticed. Like, she will tear up and cry as
Like
many
in a
times
movie,
as
as if
possible.
I'm in that movie and I'm that character.
Yo.
Like I'm literally bawling out. I'm ugly crying. It's
Yo.
coming out.
Facts. And I'm the one that's always like, are you crying? And like, knowing that she's crying, but I'm kind of like trying to snap her out of it, because then I'm like, I'm so awkward when it comes to emotions. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, I'll start laughing, or like, hey, yo, I'll
Right.
try to start touching, and
But if
and
it's a
like,
stranger, he'll probably won't do that at all.
it's gonna be like, I'm kind of more of like, oh, can we find somebody to
Yo.
help me? 'Cause I'm but with my son, it's funny because when he's crying, as of lately, because there's days that I'd be like, cry it out, my boy, like, let that shit rock.
That was a
Like,
lesson to learn in parenthood, letting them cry it
facts.
out.
Like, I can't just come and coddle you because you're crying. You're gonna have to deal with these emotions. But there are days where, like, if he cries, that I'll go and give him like that, and like embrace him, and he stops crying, and it feels so good. Like, it feels good to be able to console him. I'm joking, of course. Like, I am able to console Nicole if she's genuinely crying, if she's sad. But like, the thing with me is that I laugh because Nicole will literally like cry a lot if she's talking about like a sad situation or someone else that she's thought about, or something that happened, and she
Yep.
kind of like feels for them, and she'll cry, and then I'm kind of just like, what the fuck? Like, can we not cry right now?
Yeah.
Like, we'll be out in public, and sometimes I get a little kind of like awkward because she'll start crying, and I'm like, yo, they gonna think like I just made you cry. Like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, I look like like I'm probably looking like a dirtbag right now, just making my girl cry. I remember one time, babe.
Ooh,
Sorry,
that
guys.
was
That was
loose.
crazy. I remember one time we were still living in Fairfield, and I don't know what it was, if it was an argument or if it was like something you said and it just like drew your emotions out and you started crying, and you can tell that she had been crying and still kind of was crying, and we were passing through the lounge and there was like a room full of women. It wasn't just like, it was just straight up women. And I felt like at that moment they were talking and they happened to look back at us, and it was kind of like you wiping tears from your face, walking ahead of me, and I'm walking in the back like, like it was like, and I was like, should I just be in front? Like, yeah, like it felt like that. Fuck. Like, why? And I feel like when we have those moments, I kind of just be like trying to be like, it's all right, baby. Like, hi, like, it's okay. Like, stop crying. Like, I try to stop her from crying, but was that like going back to what we were talking about? I'm with Zaya. I'm able to think about his emotions a little bit more and kind of like
And I love
help him deal with it.
I love how you mentioned the hug thing, because it's something that he will remember, because I also always remember that embrace that I would get from my mom. And sometimes, like, on my worst days, I might be like, oh, I need one of your hugs right now. Like, I need one of those hugs when I was a kid, and those things made me feel better. And we give him that.
Absolutely.
We give him that. And now, as parents, we also have to know the difference between giving it to him when it's needed and letting him cry it out, because life will not give him those safe, secure hugs.
Yes.
Life will
and
throw him
facts.
in many different directions, and
Facts.
bringing this kind little human into a chaotic world is not easy for a parent. So it's learning that they know they can come to us, but they will not always get that when we're not around. So they need to learn how to hustle up and stay tough and stay grounded and say, you know what? Mom and dad are not here to give me that hug, that hero hug. I gotta thug it out. I gotta thug it out.
And you know, when you say that, it reminds me that I don't know why, but I don't remember. I'm sure I had it as a kid, but I don't remember those moments where I was like hugged where I needed when I needed it, like or I was like, hey, you're all right. It's kind of like, men don't cry. Stop all that crying, like hide that emotion, kind of thing. After a certain age, and I don't know. Some days I tell Zaya that, and I feel guilty after telling him, like, stop crying, stop that little crybaby stuff. And I have to kind of like, and remember, like, he's first of all, he's 4 years old. He's still learning emotions and dealing with it.
How to deal with it, yeah.
Right, and come on, like, have a little bit of more empathy and try to figure out ways to just make him know that there's other ways to deal with those emotions, that it's not always crying and throwing a fit. But don't also kind of like negate the fact that he's feeling what he's feeling.
Yes.
Right, and
Yes.
and that's kind of how I felt, where you're telling me don't cry because you're a man, or don't cry because that's not gonna do nothing for you, or not embracing the fact, hey man, come cry it out over here with me, and just like cry on my shoulders.
Feel your
First
feelings.
of all,
Feel your feelings.
yeah, first of all, like I remember from my consciousness, my dad is the one that's more of a warm, like, hugger in person, like that wants to hug, and I just wouldn't know how to receive it. Like, he would, like, if my dad would hug me, I would kind of just be like, and held back, and I felt like part of it is some trauma.
Yeah.
Just some trauma, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that trauma, like, I wish I didn't go through that trauma, because I would want those hugs. Today, my dad, like, I can give my dad a hug. I'm talking about, like, when I was young,
Like,
when I was younger, when I was
about to say, like, my age, but damn, I'm 30. We're 30. I'm just,
when I was like,
like 20s?
9, 10. I'm
Okay.
talking about young, like, even a little, obviously, like Catalina's age,
okay.
where after those traumas, like, I just, like, don't like, don't give me no hugs. Like, I don't want to be touched. And with having Zaya, that's been healing me. It's been so fucking crazy to think that
He softened you too.
absolutely, he softened me. He made me kind of like heal my inner shit, like shit that I have to deal with and been dealing with. And when I do these things where, like, for example, if Zaya wants to give me a hug, it's kind of like, that's still masculine. That doesn't take any masculinity away from me. Like, it doesn't make me feel like I'm soft when he cries, or if I get emotional and I want to cry, it doesn't make me feel less of a man. Like, because I'm seeing him, and I'm seeing that child that I was, that I probably was, because obviously I can't remember all those things, but like it's like a reflection of me, and it's like you get a chance to do a do-over, and make sure that you help your kid in these realms. And I want to I've said this before on the podcast, like I want him to be able to know that it's a safe place for his emotions in our house. And it's not going to make him any less of a man. It's not going to make him less of a boy. It's not going to make him less of anything for him to cry, for him to feel sad about something, for him to be able to tell us that he's scared about something. And there's times we deal with scared of the dark shit. I'm scared of the dark.
Every night.
And we have to remind them, Papi, there's nothing to be scared of. And the other day he said something that I was like, keep saying it, because he's going to repeat that in his brain as well. He's going to say it. And he said, God protects us.
Yes, he said that to me today.
Yeah, he said, Mommy, we're good. Daddy, we're good, because God's protecting us. And that's some of the things, those are sometimes my responses when he says he's scared of the dark. I said, Papi, God got you. There's nothing to be scared of. God is protecting us. For real. What am I scared of? I'm good.
Relax your shoulders.
And even for us, because there's plenty of times that we worry, and we got to remind ourselves that God got us. Like, we've been through it. We come out all right.
Yeah.
Scraped up, hurt, tired, but we come out. And we're going to continue to, with God's grace and God's, love and guidance. But yeah, that's those are the things that I want him to be able to remember. Those are the things that I want him to be able to say and repeat, and I know I'm going on a rant, but yeah.
No, that was powerful, babe. No, that was powerful. And I look at you in this daddy realm and couldn't have fathomed something better.
Thank you.
I know you go through your struggles, and I know that you're not the cancer that I'm a cancer. You're not. And he just so happened to be the happy medium of both of us. I feel a little more on the Cancer side. He's a Pisces.
Facts.
And he's more in touch with his emotions. He's more like me. And now, even though you have those struggles with that, I see you kind of working through it. I see you fighting through it. And I want you to keep fighting, because there's the work that there's knowing that you're fighting through it, but then there's getting to the other side. And I do want to see that other side. I do want to see the you that doesn't think doubt, like even in me, and just says, I'm 10 toes in with this woman. Like, I'm 10 toes down with this woman. Like, she not going to hurt me. She not going to do nothing to embarrass me. She not going to do nothing that isn't going to put respect on our name, my name, this relationship. Like, I want you to be that confident and walk like that. And that shit, it turns me out. It turns me out like that. I'm telling you, give me that energy. Give me that faith. Give me that opportunity. And like, I love that. Like, I feel that is your work of overthinking, fear, and self-sabotage in every aspect. And that aspect is those actions and thoughts.
And that comes with the inconsistency.
In work, it's let me say the thought that I'm thinking. Let me shoot the shot. Let me ask the questions. Let me get the help. And in random moments, it's also at basketball, it's let me say the prayer. God is leading me. Says, let me say it. Even I don't know what I'm about to say right now.
Facts.
But let me say it. When we were in that church group, shout out to Grace Church, we were in Great Growth Track launch, and we were speaking, and I just said, I don't know what I'm going to say. I raised my hand, and I did not have any thoughts on what I was going to say.
Facts.
And I just started talking, and I let my emotions come out, and I let the words come out of what my heart was saying, but my mind was not. I had no idea what I was going to say. I didn't recite it while other people were talking, but I just said it. And I feel like that's the kind of life I want to live in every aspect. Like, I just want to say it. I want to say the thing. I want to do the thing without feeling ready, and say, this is me. That's it.
Eventually, you'll feel like it comes out natural, and you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I yearn to get to that point in every aspect of my life. Yeah.
same. No, that's
But it comes with
that is
putting the
that.
reps in,
Yeah,
baby. And I'm
the
sorry to cut
reps.
you off, but we were
Hmm.
just talking about that yesterday. Putting the reps in until it becomes human nature, until it becomes easy, until it becomes light work. We put in the reps in everything that we're doing. Doesn't matter what the field, what the background, what the history, what the person, he, she, they, them, doesn't matter. Put the reps in. And I love the analogy because it's fitness. Like, how could I not make that analogy? Put the reps in because
Facts.
you're going to see the difference. You're going to feel the difference. And your life is going to change.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
and you want those breakthroughs, man. Like you want to feel like you getting breakthroughs in your life, and the only way you reach those breakthroughs is doing the things
Yeah.
over and over again until you reach those breakthrough moments where you're like, this is a new area, this is a new thing, because a part of the things that happen with the inconsistency is that you continue to have the same conversations. We have the same conversations when it comes to relationship aspects of the things that we want to work on in the relationship. The same thing is happening in my job. It's the same thing happens in my fitness journey. Every day I'm looking in the mirror and I said, I want to hit this goal that I've been talking about. And finances, the things that we want to go out and execute on. And it becomes this thing where we're constantly having the same conversation, and it becomes redundant and tiring. And I'm in that place where I'm like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
What
when
changes?
what changes, right? When you're in that place, the only thing that changes is the actions you take. And it's the way that you keep those actions going, because it's not just taking the action once. It's waking up every day saying to yourself, I got to make the same thing happen that I did yesterday, and I have to make it a little bit better, a little bit better. You don't have to make it, 360, but just make
One
it a
thing.
little, yeah,
Yeah.
make it a little bit better. And I hope this resonates with someone that's in the same place, and maybe there's someone that was in the same place and is not there no more, that can kind of tell us their story. What did you do? What were some of the things that you encountered that were like this? You were hitting a brick wall, and then you eventually broke through that brick wall. And whether it was in your marriage and your parenting style, shit,
Your
your
childhood.
your job, your business, what was it? Share with us. We would love to hear. This is the parental exchange, where we're exchanging our experiences, and we want you guys to do the same with us. And there's
No.
no judgment. You get it? Just
No
growth, just
judgment.
connection.
Only
The spiel.
growth. And before we leave you, I just want to make sure that you guys know that our big why for doing this is to build a community. Over the course of time as a mom, I have lost a lot of connections along the way because I have taken a different path. I'm a mom, and not all of my friends are moms, and it's caused me to lose that sense of community. And this is where I want to build that community, but it does only work if we come together. And so I'm literally asking y'all, the fathers, the moms, the parents to be, anybody that just enjoys our content and feels there's some growth to be had when you do become a parent, chime in with us. Chime in with us and say what needs to be said. Or even if you're not sure, something, show love. Chime in with us because it only works if you do, just like anything. So we appreciate y'all. This was an amazing episode, babe. Thank you for some vulnerability, and I see some growth happening in this conversation. And just know that, again, if you're going through those moments, you're tired, you're hustling and bustling, you're still a good parent. This
If you're
is the
feeling tired, it's because you're a good parent.
Yep. Yep. So that's it, y'all. That's what we have for y'all. This is the Parental Exchange, and we cannot wait to welcome you on the next episode. Let's go.
I'm dying, staring at the sky, even daddy need a guide. Grammy off a Nissan Altima, driving Nissan Altima, pushing your mama whip cause I need it ride. Even when she sing off key, she queen bee. And even when she sing off key, we be the high. Who I wanna buy the land for, play in the league for, sport a wedding band for. Be in harmony, we a band. And you the biggest hit we ever had. Bossing glove and punching bag, this love is everlasting. I got the gnarliest daughter, no vocab but reasoning. To snack all day and then don't eat in the evening. Congested and snotty nose, I'm hearing you breathing in. Turn on the TV, Disney emblem. They stress about the screen time, but these is memories. I had a big imagination, daddy's a cartoon kid. When life ain't looking like how the cartoons is, you could draw your own light where the darkness is. And always be reminded on who kid you is. Sometimes pain is what it takes. It can make a lasting impression, a blessing sent in disguise to bring you back to the lesson. When it slips out of your mind, remind us from the divine. No matter how fast we run, we all run out of time. And ain't no shame in being afraid and still trying. Fly.
I want to let it rock till the end because I need you to hear this part right here. Let's do it.
Before I wrote this verse, I had to bring a new one in. Second daughter made a water washing all my sins. Never will I ever disrespect the house I made. Every part of me I hated died along the way. Hey, that took some work, you know. I mind that business, never sweating with a personal. I told my oldest, don't you ever take it personal. Charge it to the game, write it off next quarter, you'll see the change. 6, every shot you take in life, just know it's in your wrist. Line up what you want in life and treat it like a blitz. They could never block with malice, baby, that's eclipse. And they could never stop a challenge when your feet are sick. Until my baby blazed, they had to burn the city down for you to light the way. But from the ashes came so much magic, we prayed on it. With every play on words, word in a play. Know that this life is a stage, this part is only a page. If you don't like it, rip it up. Every wound that you get, I'll be there to stitch it up. Till I'm on the other side, scar tissue in the cut, best of luck, yeah. Sometimes pain is what it takes. It can make a lasting impression, a blessing sent in disguise to bring it back to the lesson. When it slips out of your mind, remind us from the divine. No matter how fast we run, we all run out of time. Ain't no shame in being afraid and still trying.